This here might just be the best Narendra Modi commercial in Narendra Modi's whole professional and political career.
For the Prime Minister to use the forces to protect his image. The goal of the exercise was to make sure that he used the Air Force to protect his image.
This is the narrative. So that's the story of the party, okay? That's the goal of his speech. To say Operation Sindoor was used to protect Modi's image. India's attack on Pakistan was probably the most I could care less about my image that the world has ever seen.
कि आपके पास लड़ने की पॉलिटिकल विल है ही नहीं, कि आप लड़ना ही नहीं चाहते हो, और ये डिफेंस मिनिस्टर ने कहा है.
But he was fighting for the families of the Pahalgam attack, while you were sitting in your office coming up with ways to try to downplay what might just go down as the most successful military operation that the world has ever seen.
That the Pakistani army was attached, Pakistani Air Force was attached to the Chinese Air Force. But China and Pakistan fused as one militarily.
I mean, I think you need to apologize. Does he even like India? This guy's spewing innuendos of unicorns, dragons, and twirly rainbows here, trying to attach it to his base. The sad part is these people behind him are like, yay, woohoo, woohoo, we believe this mess. Yeah, that's sad. I mean, the rest of the world is looking at this guy like, bro, who let you in there and gave you a microphone?
Let him say here that Donald Trump, you're a liar.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have been getting hit left and right by comments out there. Okay, we're not neutral enough. We need to be more neutral, and I was told to go check out this gentleman named Rahul Ghandi and compare him with Jay Shankar, because we've been praising Jay Shankar way too much apparently, and Modi, we're not supposed to be doing that, I guess, here. So we'll try this, but we did, and our conclusion is one is a major factor and the other a bad actor, and well, you decide if anyone's buying what this guy here is trying to sell.
Thank you, Speaker Sir, for letting me speak on a very important, painful subject. I start with the attack in Pahalgam. A brutal attack, heartless attack, organized and orchestrated clearly by the Pakistani state. Merciless, young people, old people murdered in cold blood, mercilessly.
Okay, well, I don't mean to sound insensitive to any of you all out there who told me to look at this gentleman, but I think this guy sounds fake and phony, and he's full of pandering nothing burgers. He sounds like someone who's trying out for a play in Shakespeare, but people who look for good actors who can sell the story wouldn't even let this guy hold the cue cards. That was pathetic. When I asked if India had any weak links in their government, well, I guess we found one. So I'd be careful, because China and George Soros might just be trying to help this guy out to win the next election, if possible. But these are just my reactions, ladies and gentlemen. Please let us know what you think down below. We appreciate your comments. And can you guys fast forward this guy's speech? Can we make this quick, because he's cringy to listen to. And
so let us now move to Operation Sindoor. Yesterday I watched Rajnath Singh ji ka bhashan mein sun raha tha, and I listen quite carefully when people speak. And Rajnath Singh ji said that Operation Sindoor began at 1:05 in the morning. और उसके बाद उन्होंने कहा, he said, Operation Sindoor lasted 22 minutes. And then he said, the most shocking thing, he said at 1:35, we called Pakistan. We called Pakistan at 1:35 and we told them that we have hit non-military targets and we do not want escalation. These are the words of the Defense Minister of India. Now, maybe he does not understand what he revealed. The DGMO of India was told by the government of India to ask for a ceasefire at 1:35 at night itself, on the night of Operation Sindoor. You told the Pakistanis exactly what you would do. You told them that we will not hit military targets. You told them we do not want escalation. Speaker sir, you imagine, दो लोगों के बीच में लड़ाई हो रही है, दो लोगों के बीच में लड़ाई हो रही है, एक आदमी जाके दूसरे को घूसा मारता है और फिर कहता है देखिए मैंने घूसा मार दिया, अब एस्केलेशन नहीं कीजिए. मतलब आपने पाकिस्तान को डायरेक्टली अपनी पॉलिटिकल विल बता दी कि आपके पास लड़ने की पॉलिटिकल विल है ही नहीं, कि आप लड़ना ही नहीं चाहते हो. और ये डिफेंस मिनिस्टर ने कहा है कि हमने, डिफेंस मिनिस्टर यहां हाउस में कह रहे कि हमने पाकिस्तान से जाके कहा कि हमने आपको एक झापड़ मारा है मगर हम आपको और झापड़ नहीं मारेंगे. हम एस्केलेशन नहीं चाहते हैं, आप रिस्पॉन्ड नहीं कीजिए और हम मिलिट्री टारगेट नहीं मारेंगे.
Hold on. This guy is grasping at straws here. I mean, is this guy really selling this snake oil speech and members are actually buying it? I mean, I hear applause out there. This is the worst argument I've ever heard. He has no idea, apparently, how war operates. That's called leverage of shock and awe. It's actually how the U.S. took over Iraq. Shocked and awe, baby. Shock them and awe them. But then you may have to make phone calls because after a strike like that, you have to be prepared to face what's called the UN and other nations as to what your motives are. And that was a responsible play by India, which is why they garnered the world's approval on this thing. How someone could try to argue that just shows you that he's not ready for this kind of position himself. But come on, I thought you guys said that this guy was a big player in India. What else do you got? Keep it rolling.
The Indian Air Force made no mistake. The mistake was made by the political leadership that said you cannot attack the military infrastructure. And Anil Chauhanji must have the guts to say this. That my hands were tied behind my back and I was sent into a war and my enemy was told by my own government that we will not attack your air defense system. So the Air Force is not to blame at all. In the 21st century, you send aircraft into a zone protected by air defense, they will come down. Now why? Why was the Pakistani government told at 1:35 that हम ना आपके इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को अटैक करेंगे, ना आपके एयर डिफेंस को अटैक करेंगे और हम एस्केलेशन नहीं चाहते? मतलब हमने आपको थप्पड़ मारा है मगर दूसरा थप्पड़ नहीं मारेंगे. That is what it means. When we say we don't want escalation, it means मैंने एक थप्पड़ मारा, दूसरा नहीं मारूंगा, तीसरा नहीं मारूंगा, चौथा नहीं मारूंगा. Why? Because the goal of this exercise was to protect the Prime Minister's image. The goal of the exercise, because he has the blood of the people of Pahalgam on his hands, the goal of the exercise was to make sure that he used the Air Force to protect his image.
Modi did this to protect his image? Really? Okay. Oh, I get it now. You're putting on this circus act so you can create a narrative. This is the narrative. So that's the story of the party, okay? That's the goal of his speech. To say Operation Sindoor was used to protect Modi's image. Newsflash for you on this, Gandhi. India's attack on Pakistan was probably the most I could care less about my image that the world has ever seen. That could have been political suicide if things go wrong. But he was fighting for the families of the Pahalgam attack while you were sitting in your office coming up with ways to try to downplay what might just go down as the most successful military operation that the world has ever seen. And it was under Narendra Modi and the Indian military that it took place. So this loud voiced rant that you're doing is doing nothing but downplaying how great India actually is. I mean, I think you need to apologize. Does he even like India? Does this guy even like India? Because I think he needs to apologize to the people of this country and sit down, take notes, and pay attention to how India is becoming the most relevant superpower in the world because of this. But I'm just sharing my thoughts on this. Please let me know if you agree with me. I mean, I'm just a pale-faced Westerner letting you know how many of us here across the ocean are seeing and hearing this thing play out. Saying Modi used the Air Force for his own image, this guy is, I mean, come on, Gandhi, you got to be better than that. You got to do better than that. It ain't going to win this argument in a court with subjective, opinionated, narrative-making rant. I mean, who follows this guy? Comments are welcome below.
After that, Donald Trump has said 29 times. 29 times he said, 29 बार उन्होंने बोला कि भैया मैंने सीज फायर करवाया। अच्छा, अगर वो झूठ बोल रहे हैं तो अपने भाषण में यहां प्रधानमंत्री कह दें कि वो झूठ बोल रहे हैं। यहां पे अगर दम है तो यहां पे प्रधानमंत्री बोल दे कि ट्रंप झूठ बोल रहे हैं। If he has the courage, if he has the courage of Indira Gandhi, yes, let him say here, yes, let him say here, yes, that Donald Trump, you're a liar, yes, that you did not make a ceasefire, and that we did not lose any planes. Let him say it here, yes, if he has the courage.
Are you serious? He's grandstanding here. The world is well aware that Donald Trump didn't stop the war. I know that. I know that we all know that Modi and Jaishankar made it well known to the world without getting overboard, without going overboard or way too moved by it. But you know why this guy can act like he could go out there and blurt this to the world loud and clear? Because he's not relevant. Does this guy not understand anything about diplomacy? Anyone who's looking for the best interest for all of India knows that Modi and Jaishankar, or some relevant leader of India who has to make decisions and deals with Trump's administration for the sake of their own people in their country, are biting their tongues and trying not to stir up controversy. You should understand that, Gandhi. I think you've been in this a little bit longer than most. You don't do that if you're playing a long game. Rahul is a frickin' mess, a disaster. And I pray that he never gets a chance to destroy what India has fought for and worked so hard to build. Next clip, please.
कि पहलगाम के बाद एक भी देश ने पाकिस्तान को नहीं कंडेम किया है। Not a single country has condemned Pakistan. Everybody has condemned terrorism. What does it mean? That the world is equating us with Pakistan. Earlier,
no, the world is not equating India with Pakistan. Where does he come up with this stuff? Again, this guy has just a bunch of mumbo jumbo, and I don't know if I can keep going on here, guys. This is hard to listen to all this crap. And did nobody tell him, did anyone tell him that the TRF has been designated a terrorist organization? Bro, that's Pakistan. India Operation Sindoor did this. Modi, Jaishankar, and the whole of India's Operation Sindoor delegation in unity did this. TRF and LAT is under fire now, bro. I mean, this guy's spewing innuendos of unicorns, dragons, and twirly rainbows here, trying to attach it to his base. The sad part is these people behind him are like, yay, woohoo, woohoo, we believe this mess. Yeah, that's sad. I mean, the rest of the world is looking at this guy like, bro, who let you in there and gave you a microphone? Who let you in there, bro? Gave you this mic, man. I mean, your voice is sad. I mean, I was asking if there was anyone, just in my video last week, if there was any weak links in India, in their team of political players, because they were rocking, bro. This is about as weak as they come. He has about as much of a clue as Joe Biden does. And Joe Biden had to use an auto pen.
After that, the President of the United States says, reason I had him here was I wanted to thank him. I wanted to thank him for what? I wanted to thank him for not going into the war and ending it. Let me repeat it. The reason I had him here for lunch was I wanted to thank him, the man who carried out Pahalgam. I wanted to thank him for not going into the war and ending it.
Shame, very shame.
Now, currently, General Munir, US General Michael Kurilla, head of their command structure, and generals from 4 Central Asian countries right now are having a conference on how to prevent terrorism. Right now. So while these people are running around telling the world that Pakistan has done terrorism, the United States is having lunch with the man and organizing and trying to figure out how he can help them fight terrorism. I mean, which planet is the foreign minister sitting on?
Bravo, young lad, bravo. Yeah, there is hope for you after all, maybe. You said something that I think I can agree with. Trump is an idiot for having lunch with Icy Manure and holding hands with the terrorists. I get it. But during that time, Trump asked Modi to come and visit the U.S. during his G7 conference in Canada, and Modi, in a roundabout way, said, screw you, Trump. He played his cards well, and Jay Shankar called out Trump on that as well, in a nice but forthright way. So you're going to have to put Trump's blame on Trump and his cronies, not Modi and Jay Shankar. So what are some more of your opinions? I mean, Jay Shankar and Modi come with facts. This guy came with the same thing everyone has, buttholes and opinions. Everyone's got one, but most of them stink.
That India's biggest foreign policy challenge has been to keep Pakistan and China separate. And I said here that I am sad to say that you have destroyed the single biggest, most important goal of Indian foreign policy. China and Pakistan are fused like this, okay? Now let me tell you what that means. What happened actually, the truth of what happened, because I have to say that. What happened is that the government of India thought they were fighting Pakistan. And when they arrived, they suddenly realized that they were not fighting Pakistan, they were fighting China and Pakistan. Yes. Meaning that the Pakistani army was attached. Pakistani Air Force was attached to the Chinese Air Force.
I'm pretty sure that India knew who they were up against before they struck Pakistan. Everybody knew. People that don't even live there. If India attacks Pakistan, they gotta fight China. Kind of a thing. This guy must think that India doesn't have some of the best intel in the world. But anyways, the Indian military and Narendra Modi knew exactly who they were fighting. Can we just keep this going? Go ahead. One more. That's all I can do. Sorry.
And not only that, the doctrine of the Pakistani Air Force was completely changed. The information available to the Pakistani Air Force was completely changed. And the Chinese were feeding information, critical battlefield information, satellite information, targeting information to the Pakistanis. And if you don't believe me, one second. If you don't believe me, General Rahul Singh, during a FICCI event, May 11th, when the DGMO level talks were going on, Pakistan actually was mentioning, we know that you such and such important vector is primed and ready for action. I would request you to perhaps pull it back. And he says, so it is very clear they were getting live battlefield inputs from China. If you had listened to me here, you would not have lost those 5 planes. If you had listened to me and you had said that yes, the Chinese and the Pakistanis are fused, sir, EM, External Affairs Minister says, yesterday in his speech, he says, the two-front war concept is a very old concept. I don't know what he's talking about. The two-front war concept is gone. It doesn't exist anymore. There is now a unified front concept where there is only one unified single front, and war is going to be held on multiple domains: space, electromagnetic, cyber, undersea, air, space, air, land, sea. So he does not even understand the basics of warfare. He's talking about two front. That ship has sailed long ago. Speaker, sir, how did this integration between Pakistan and China take place? I want to make it clear. There is a center called CENTIAC, Center for AI and Computing, that was built in Pakistan with Chinese help. And the aim of the center is to integrate the Pakistani Air Force with the Chinese Air Force and make and transform the Pakistani Air Force into a network-centric Air Force. Speaker, sir, as I speak, and since 2021, Pakistani officers, strategic officers, have been embedded in the PLA's Western and Northern Theater Commands. They are sitting there, coordinating. So it is important to understand that you did not have political will, that you did not give freedom of maneuver, but there is another problem. And the problem is that we are now facing not just China, not just Pakistan, but China and Pakistan fused as one militarily. Speaker, sir, it is dangerous in this time for the Prime Minister to use the forces to protect his image. It is dangerous for the country. The forces should only be used in national interest.
Wow. This narrative of Modi trying to protect his image seems like it's really the only thing that this man's got. But if we did a quick rewind to what this gentleman just said, he sounded to me like, in my opinion, he sounded like he wouldn't have gone into Pakistan because of China and Pakistan were fighting together, right? This here might just be the best Narendra Modi commercial in Narendra Modi's whole professional and political career. He just let the world know that India and Modi, under Modi, didn't only defeat Pakistan, they defeated Pakistan and China together. Modi and the Indian military took on Pakistan and China and destroyed them. How can someone take such a feat? Such a beacon of hope for India, such a medal of success, of a success story, of victory at its finest, and say all these wonderful things that India has done with the tone of finger pointing, blame, and defeat. Rahul Ghandi, you are the weakest link. And to those of you in India who have accomplished all these things that this gentleman here just tried to downplay, my hat goes off to you. It just, way to go. That's amazing. Well played. Well done. And may God continue to be with you all in your quest for greatness across the globe. May peace and prosperity and victory continue to be your portion. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, we are so grateful for you all here at the Speak and See family. Blessings to all of you, and we'll see you on the next one. One love. Bye-bye.